Hello and welcome to the Life Writing Show. I'm your host, CJ, aka Mr. Life Writer. Miss Jazzlen Tompkins joins me for this spotlight. She's the owner of Tenacity Financial Group. How's it going, Jazzlen?
It's going pretty well. Thank you for having me.
No, absolutely. I mentioned earlier, and I'm going to say it again. You're my first spotlight of 2024. What better topic to kick off 2024 on the Life Writing Show than something related to finance and accounting? The accounting season is upon us, right? Yeah, well, I guess from your perspective, it's always upon us, but we're going to kind of delve into some of those particulars. But I am so appreciative that you joined me on the show. I really am. So let's go ahead
Yeah.
and jump into it. Tenacity Financial Group, in and of itself. How did it come about?
So, Tenacity Financial Group came about because one, I always wanted to be a business owner. So, even when I was little and I didn't know what I wanted to do per se, I knew that I wanted to be a business owner. And then when I went to college and majored in accounting, and then, I became a CPA, I was like, I might as well have a CPA firm. So I opened up the CPA firm, Tenacity Financial Group, and the name Tenacity itself
Uh-huh.
came up because, interestingly enough, I was watching The Apprentice way back in the day, and one of the team names was Tenacity, and that stuck in my head like decades ago. And I was like, when I open my business, it's going to be named Tenacity something. So
Oh,
it just all came full circle. And I specifically wanted to open up a CPA firm because it's just a lot of knowledge that people don't know about taxes, about finance, about accounting. And I
absolutely.
thought, I might as well be the person to try and explain that to people and try to help people with their finances. So that's what I strive to do at my firm. Is a full service CPA firm. So whether that's tax, bookkeeping, payroll, whether you need financial consulting or coaching, whatever you need related to finance and accounting, we do, and that's my goal.
Nice. The Tenacity Financial Group. I'm stuck on tenacity, right? And
Yeah,
just the word tenacity comes with a lot of fervor, right? It's like
right.
very commanding, right? So you started your first. Well, let me ask you that. So approximately when did you launch or found your firm?
So I founded it actually in 2020.
Okay.
So right during the pandemic, I was just thinking and I was like, you know what, I might as well just start. I might as well start now and get things in order. So I started it around June 2020 in Des Moines, Iowa, actually, because I was out there living there for work. So it was
Oh,
founded in Iowa in 2020.
oh, cool. So what has your experience been like thus far? Is it totally what you expected? Somewhat. What does that look like?
So actually, it's been harder.
Okay.
um, and a lot of people say that, a lot of people say starting your own business is a lot of work, and you don't really think it will be before you start because you're like, oh, well, I love doing this, so it should be just, all easy. But it's not, especially when you're working full time.
Right.
So when
Right.
I was starting it up, I was not only working full time, but I was still in school, getting my master's, and I was still studying to become a CPA. So I started my firm before I was officially a CPA because you don't obviously have to be a CPA to
Right.
start an accounting firm.
Uh-uh.
So I was doing all that at the same time. So really just dedicating time to this and getting this off the ground, whether that's promotion or setting up social media pages or, getting business cards, just everything, bank accounts, plus my day job, plus studying. So it was a lot to juggle, but it is rewarding and it's worth it, in my opinion.
Jazzlen. The tax season is fast approaching. The traditional tax season, right?
Mhm.
Is fast approaching. What are some of the things individuals, businesses, um, other entities, anything that come to mind? What should we be doing to effectively prepare for the season?
Mhm. So I would say number one is keep accurate records. So if you, especially if you're a business owner or you have a lot of 1099 income, so you're a contractor of some sort, make sure that you are keeping accurate records. So whether that's mileage or receipts or gas receipts or home office type of things, whatever it is that's relevant to your type of income, make sure you are keeping that separated.
Mhm.
Um, Also, make sure that if you are a W 2 employee, that you are getting your W 2s, any sort of other like 1099s that are related to that. So, whether that's an interest form or a dividend form, just stay organized so
Mhm.
that when you do go to your tax preparer, or if you are preparing your own taxes, that everything is there for you. And
Right.
then another thing I suggest strongly is to hire a tax professional. So, I know there's a lot of stigma where it's like, I don't know if I can afford to have somebody do my taxes or is it really worth it? But at a certain point, especially even for individuals, let's say you don't even have a business,
Mhm.
it is advantageous for you to outsource that because there are certain things that can help you save on your tax liability that you may not know as an individual. For example, if you're a high income earner, there are ways that you can kind of reduce some of what you may owe in taxes, such as maxing out a 401k or having an HSA or just other things that
Right.
the individual may not know, but their tax professional should and should be able to help them with. And then obviously, if you're a business owner, when you start out, it may be fine to do it on your own, but as you grow in your business, it's going to be a lot harder to keep track of things.
Right.
And there may be different types of businesses that are more advantageous for you. A lot of people start off as an LLC, but when you grow too much, which is a good thing because you're making a lot of money, it
Mhm.
may not be advantageous for you to stay an LLC. But that's something that, me as a CPA can walk you through and do an analysis and say, hey, you're making X as an LLC and you're spending X on taxes. But if you're this type of business, you could save this much. So
Right.
just really utilizing a tax professional can help you as well.
Absolutely. Wow. Yeah, that's I just keep that as yes. Can you touch on any personal finance recommendations you have?
Yes. So I would say number one is create a budget. So
Mhm.
you always want to make sure that you know how much you are making and where it's going because that's a lot of people's problem. So they may think that they make a sufficient amount, but then once it's really on paper, it's not enough for what they are spending. So
Right.
you need to just make sure that you know what you're spending and then figure out what you can cut back on. Because I know it's, inflation, it's a lot of things going on, things are expensive. So
Mhm.
certain things you can cut back on to kind of have more money in your pocket.
Right.
Um, Number two, make sure that you are investing in 401ks, IRAs. Those have tax advantages as well, and it will help you with your personal finance. I would also say keep an eye on your credit. I know there
Mhm.
are a lot of people out there who are just, oh, credit is more superior or whatever the case may be. I'm just saying keep an eye on your credit and make sure you aren't maxing out credit cards, you're staying under the correct utilization rate, which is normally 35%.
Mhm.
You don't want to
Mhm.
have over that in credit of any kind. Um, and then I would say, going with credit and just personal finance in general, if you are looking to apply for a mortgage or get a car loan, make sure that the lender or the person that you're going to the car dealership isn't pulling your credit every time because that will dock your credit. So if
Right.
you're
Right.
going to buy a car, go into the car dealership with a pre-approval.
Mhm.
It's pretty easy if you go through a credit union, and then that way they don't have to pull your credit at the car dealership. Same when you are searching for a mortgage. So I would say those three things should help the majority of people. Just make sure that you're keeping track of what you're making and what you're spending and cutting back as you see fit.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wholeheartedly agree. So, Tenacity in and of itself, your business, where
Mhm.
do you view it in another 10 years or so?
So I view my business being definitely a national name, national brand. I view it as me being a CPA to just all types of people. I want to move into the influencer, content creator, celebrity space because I do believe that it is a lot of knowledge that can be spread to those types of
Mhm.
industries,
Yes.
especially, a lot of celebrities don't know the importance of having an accountant, just like it's important to have a lawyer, it's
Mhm.
important to have, a personal assistant or whatever the case may be. It's also very important to have an accountant as well. So I see Tenacity moving more in that direction, and
Okay.
then also still developing my individual client base. So, W-2 employees, 1099 independent contractors who may not have their own business. So that's where I see it. More speaking engagements,
Uh-huh.
hopefully a TED talk in there or
Oh, yeah.
something of that
Okay.
nature. So,
Okay. I can see that. I can see
oh,
it.
thank you.
Yeah. What legacy do you want to leave?
I want to leave a legacy of hard work, a legacy of teaching and empowering as well, because I do like to teach people
Hmm.
more. I like to teach people about the importance of accounting and finance. So that's the legacy. And then also just the legacy of the business. Like I want the business to continue on even past me,
Right.
So I
Right.
want the business to just go into perpetuity and people just know that Tenacity Financial Group it can handle all of your accounting needs. It's going to be done right, it's going to be done efficiently, and we will take care of you.
Jazzlen, thanks again for joining me. I really appreciate the nuggets that you dropped. And I'm sure everyone else will kind of glean some information from this as well. Your contact information, I'm going to make sure it is promoted, marketed, whatever. I'm capturing everything. And I'm also going to put you on notice that I'm going to be reaching out to you again to share some more nuggets, okay?
Okay, great.
Hey, but thanks again. Thanks again. And to the audience, I hope you glean some helpful information that will help you write the life you desire. Take care.